Anarchism. Anarchism is a political philosophy and movement that is skeptical of all justifications for authority and seeks to abolish the institutions it claims maintain unnecessary coercion and hierarchy, typically including nation-states and capitalism. Anarchism advocates for the replacement of the state with stateless societies and voluntary free associations. Authoritarianism is a political system characterized by the rejection of democracy and political plurality. It involves the use of strong central power to preserve the political status quo and reductions in the rule of law, separation of powers, and democratic voting. Communitarianism is a theory or ideology that rejects both the market-led theories of political conservatives and the liberal concern for individual rights, advocating instead a recognition of common moral values, collective responsibility, and the social importance of the family unit. Communism. Communism is a left-wing to far-left socio-political, philosophical, and economic ideology within the socialist movement, whose goal is the creation of a communist society, a socio-economic order centered around common ownership of the means of production, distribution, and exchange that allocates products to everyone in the society based on need. A communist society would entail the absence of private property and social classes, and ultimately money and the state, or nation-state. Conservatism is a cultural, social, and political philosophy that seeks to promote and to preserve traditional institutions, customs, and values. The central tenets of conservatism may vary in relation to the culture and civilization in which it appears. Corporatism is a collectivist political ideology which advocates the organization of society by corporate groups such as agricultural, labor, military, business, scientific, or guild associations, on the basis of their common interests. Democracy is a system of government in which state power is vested in the people or the general population of a state. According to the United Nations, democracy provides an environment that respects human rights and fundamental freedoms, and in which the freely expressed will of people is exercised. Environmentalism or environmental rights is a broad philosophy, ideology, and social movement about supporting life, habitats, and surroundings. Fascism is a far-right, authoritarian, ultranationalist political ideology and movement, characterized by a dictatorial leader, centralized autocracy, militarism, forcible suppression of opposition, belief in a natural social hierarchy, subordination of individual interests for the perceived good of the nation or race, and strong regimentation of society and the economy. Identity politics. Identity politics is politics based on a particular identity, such as race, nationality, religion, gender, sexual orientation, social background, caste, and social class. Liberalism is a political and moral philosophy based on the rights of the individual, liberty, consent of the governed, political equality, right to private property, and equality before the law. Libertarianism is a political philosophy that upholds liberty as a core value. Nationalism is an idea and movement that holds that the nation should be congruent with the state. Populism is a range of political stances that emphasize the idea of the people and often juxtapose this group with the elite. Progressivism is a political philosophy that holds that it is possible to improve human societies through political reform or through government mandates. Satirical and anti-politics. Political satire is a type of satire that specializes in gaining entertainment from politics. Political satire can also act as a tool for advancing political arguments in conditions where political speech and dissent are banned. Social democracy is a political, social, and economic philosophy within socialism that supports political and economic democracy and supports a gradualist, reformist, and democratic approach towards achieving socialism, usually under a social liberal framework. Socialism is an economic and political philosophy encompassing diverse economic and social systems characterized by social ownership of the means of production as opposed to private ownership. Syndicalism is a revolutionary current within the labor movement that, through industrial unionism, seeks to unionize workers according to industry and advance their demands through strikes, with the eventual goal of gaining control over the means of production and the economy at large through social ownership. Transhumanism. Transhumanism is a philosophical and intellectual movement which advocates the enhancement of the human condition by developing and making widely available sophisticated technologies that can greatly enhance longevity, cognition, and well-being.